On Friday the 15th, 2 days from now, a battle of the ages, a battle to the death. Mike Tyson, the Iron Mike, GOAT, the greatest of all time, takes on Jake Paul, the problem child, YouTuber turned professional fighter, in the battle of the ages, the fight of the century. No, not really. But you want to hear how Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are carrying on. The desperation in trying to sell this fight is on another level. The delusion of both fighters is just on another level. The desperation to sell this fight is crazy. Jake Paul's going on like Mike Tyson's still the best thing since sliced bread. He's making Mike Tyson sound like a cross between Muhammad Ali, Tyson Fury, with a right hand like Deontay Wilder. I mean, it's crazy, and it's just so they can sell tickets for this fight. But it doesn't fool me and you, the boxing fans. But we will tune in, we will watch it. You know, and the reason why we're going to watch it is hopefully we get to see Mike Tyson knock out Jake Paul. That's the only reason why we're watching it. This ain't a fight of the century. In this video, I'm reacting to the face-to-face Jake Paul and Mike Tyson had an interview yesterday. It was an interview yesterday, and some of the statements Jake Paul's making to try and sell this fight is on another level. So let's get into it. Let's see me reacting to some of the delusion these lot are going on about, and let's have a laugh of it, because that's all this is. This is a laugh. I mean, Rocky Marciano, Muhammad Ali, they'll be turning in their graves right now watching this shit.
Jake, why'd you agree to take the fight with Mike?
Man, he's a legend, you know. This is the guy. And it's historic, and it's the biggest fight of the century.
I mean, the buzzwords alone, it's historical. What's historical about this fight? What, a 58-year-old man who's going to pick up his pension money the other week? Or he's walking around with his elderly bus pass, his freedom pass in his back pocket, against a YouTuber turned professional fighter who's had 11 fights. And he's lost one of them, and he's out of all them fights, the only real boxer he's fought is Tommy Fury, and he lost it, and Tommy Fury ain't even that great, and Jake Paul's going using all these buzzwords. It's historic. Did you hear it? It's the fight of the century, apparently. The fight of the century. I mean, let's forget the trilogy with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, or Rumble in the Jungle, or Lennox against Tyson. You know, these are fights of the century. These are fights of the ages, not someone who was on the Disney Channel 10 years ago against someone who's now collecting his pension every other week.
Well, to add on top of, what does it mean for boxing?
Everything, man. Every kid going into the gym the next day wanting to be like me or Mike.
It's Jake Paul seriously going on like he's Muhammad Ali, or he's Tyson Fury, or he's Lennox Lewis. Yeah, the kids want to grow up to be just like me. Or Mike. Yeah, we used to, like, obviously, back in the day, not now. Like, no one grows up now and says, I want to be like Mike Tyson. 25, 30 years ago, yeah, not now. And you, Jake Paul, you've had 11 fights, and half of them are against bums from the MMA world, you know, who ain't even boxers. The only real boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and you lost, right? So you're not Muhammad Ali, you're not Tyson Fury. Stop acting like it. You're really bigging yourself up. Forget problem child. This is big up child, you know. I mean, his parents have really must have, like, he's one of them kids, like, no matter what they do as a kid, like, the parents always say, you're the best in the world. My kid, Jake Paul, he's the best at this, he's the best at that. And then they grow up believing it, that they're the best at everything. You know, them insufferable kids that you go to school with who think they're the bloody best at everything. That's like Jake Paul right now. He thinks he's something special at boxing. He's had 11 pro fights. The desperation in trying to sell this fight, and it will sell, but just for the fact that we want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. And there's no offense to Jake Paul.
700 million people watching on Netflix, and the impact this will have on the sport is unfathomable. And
I mean, the desperation in trying to sell this fight. You're telling me 700 million people are tuning in to watch Jake Paul, YouTuber turned professional boxer, Disney Channel Jake Paul, versus 58-year-old, go and pick up your pension every other week, Mike Tyson? No, they're not. It's a selling technique, isn't it? It's trying to sell the fight. They're desperate here. So basically saying, yeah, look, 700 million people are going to be tuning in. So now you're watching this thinking, 700 million people? Do you know what? I might tune in. It's almost like a chain reaction. You think, he's watching it, so I might as well watch it. And it's sort of like that. So that's just a selling technique. That's all that is. There's no way 700 million people are tuning in to watch that crap. And if they are tuning in to watch it, it's to see Jake Paul get KO'd.
Okay, Mike, so what does it mean to be fighting Jake Paul? And same question to you, what does this mean for boxing?
To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this, and probably never will.
So the interviewer says to him, what does this mean for boxing? He says that to Mike Tyson. Now, the normal PR thing would be to sell the fights. Oh, but it means everything for boxing. This is going to set boxing onto another level. It is boxing. It's going to take boxing to another level. But he doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. He doesn't go the normal PR route. But he doesn't say nothing negative and he doesn't say nothing positive, but in his heart of hearts he puts it in such a way where he knows it's a shit show. He knows it is an utter shit show, but he words it really well to keep it selling, to keep it the interest. He goes, it's something boxing hasn't seen in 250 years. Well, he ain't wrong there, is he?
But for me, I've dreamt this, manifested it, and it'll be the start of, what has been a 12-year career for me in entertainment and acting and working and all the things I've done now into boxing. This is finally my moment and my time to shine, and I'm going to show the world who the fuck I am.
And that's the whole point. He's been in the entertainment business longer than he's been a boxer. He's dabbled in this, he's dabbled in that. He's done a bit of boxing now. And all of a sudden, if he beats 58-year-old, go to get your pension every other week, elderly bus pass in your back pocket, Mike Tyson, he's going to show the world who the F he is. That doesn't show the world who the F you are, mate. Step in the ring with Tyson Fury. Step in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Step in an MMA match with Alex Pereira. Then I will give you your props. But stepping in the ring with 58-year-old pick up your pension Tyson doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
So you're going to knock Mike out?
It's already written.
Okay.
This is the baddest man on the planet. Just look at the fucking guy sitting here right now.
Right.
He's an animal.
Come on, me and you both know, the viewers, everyone knows he's not the baddest man in the planet anymore. 25 years ago, yeah, I wouldn't want to see Mike Tyson walking down a dark alley. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't want to see Mike Tyson walking down a dark alley today. But that's just me. But you put him in the ring with an actual bad mofo, like Francis Ngannou, Tyson Fury, even Deontay Wilder, even, so people at lower weight divisions, they will kill Mike Tyson. He is not the baddest man on the planet anymore. And this is what they're doing. They're so desperate to sell the fight. Jake Paul has become delusional and he's using all these buzzwords. Mike Tyson's probably sitting there thinking, he's shaking his leg out, he's thinking, what is he going on about? I ain't the baddest man in the planet. I'll take it. I appreciate the compliment, but no, you're talking about me, ain't it? Me? The baddest man on the planet? No, not anymore. So, he's fighting a name. He thinks because he's beating the name Mike Tyson, that's it. That's it. He's the champion of the world. It's not the name you're beating. It's the man you're beating. It's not the name. It's the man.
And show people that I can accomplish the impossible.
Jake Paul, beating a 58-year-old pick up your pension Mike Tyson is not to the impossible. And I do mean that with all due respect to Mike Tyson, but it is what it is. He's 58 years old. He's got his elderly bus pass in his back pockets. And what is an impossible is when Andy Ruiz went on to beat Anthony Joshua. That's the kind of shock impossible. This is not a shock if you go on to beat Mike Tyson, is it? This is almost like when Conor McGregor went into that pub and punched up the old boy in the booze eye. It's going to be like that. It's going to be it could even be a hard watch like that. Beating on an old man, a young, strong guy like yourself, Jake Paul, beating an old man. It almost reminds me of Conor McGregor in the pub punching up the old boy.
To me, it's the biggest event in the history of events right now. There's never been any bigger than this. So what they have to say about that?
You can hear it in Mike Tyson's voice almost. He knows it's not the biggest ever event put on in boxing history or whatever he said. He said something about it's the biggest event put on in history. He knows that. He's just sitting there. He's trying to convince himself. He's trying to sell the fight. He's trying to convince himself. The poor geezer's going to go home. He's going to watch it back and he's thinking, I fought in this fight. I fought against Lennox Lewis. I fought against this champion, that champion. And he's looking and he's thinking, and I said that about Jake Paul. He's going to go home tonight and think, oh my God, this is cringe.
What you feel about that?
Yeah, that's what critics do. They sit on their couches, they sit in their homes, and they have so many things to say because they're unhappy with their lives themselves.
And he's talking about me there. You know, a critic sitting at home, pissed off with his own life. Yeah, oh my God, I'm so pissed off with my own life. I'm not allowed to cuss Jake Paul and criticise this fight without being pissed off about my own life. I'm not allowed to have an opinion on it.
He had 11 pro fights, 1 amateur fight. How do you rate him?
Hey, listen, he's been successful in all those pro fights except one.
I mean, let's have it right here, Len. He's only had one proper fight against a boxer. So his record, he's fought one and he's lost. He's got 100% losing rate. You know, he's going on like he's Muhammad Ali. All the other fights he's had been against MMA fighters like Ben Askren, bum. Tyrone Woodley, bum. Nate Diaz. You know, I'm not going to call Nate Diaz a bum. But yeah, so he's had one fight against a real boxer, Tommy Fury, who is pony anyway. He's not even a great boxer. He's not even half decent, and he lost to Tommy Fury.
It's been 4 years in professional boxing. And in terms of what I've done in those 4 years and the amount I've learned is more than any pro boxer.
See, I find that quite offensive to the actual boxers who have been year in, year out for 10, 11 years, had hundreds of fights. Not bloody 11 fights like Jake Paul. And the only fight he's lost is to an actual boxer. The rest he won against all bums, excluding Nate Diaz. I won't call Nate Diaz a bum. But you know what I mean? He's only got it this far. Not because he's worked hard. Not because he's, you know, better than any other fighter. And that's why he's got to this position. It's because his name's Jake Paul. He puts out a tweet, sets up a boxing match. And because they're so big and so viral, these YouTubers, you know, it's the money. They sell tickets like that, and that's all it is. It's not because he works any more harder than you boxers out there that are busting your nut out there to, you know, fight after fight.
Does a loss to Jake Paul damage your legacy?
But he's not going to win.
I mean, the delusion is just off the Richter. Mike, you're not Mike Tyson of old. You're not 20-year-old Iron Mike from back in the day, stepping in, 1-round knockouts. You're 58, Mike Tyson. Pick up your pension, elderly bus pass in your back pocket, fighting a 27-year-old who has been in the fight game. Listen, he hasn't fought boxers, but he's been training and he's been actively fighting where Mike Tyson hasn't. And if you want my honest opinion, Mike Tyson will lose this fight, and it may be hard to watch. And I don't want to see it. The reason why I'm tuning in is to see Jake Paul lose. That's the only reason why I'm tuning in. I'm living on a prayer here.
What do you say about your legacy if you end up beating Mike Tyson, and not just beating Mike Tyson, knocking Mike Tyson out?
Obviously, it would be the biggest moment in all of boxing history.
That's what you're not fighting Iron Mike when he was 20 years old. You're fighting 58-year-old Mike Tyson. This is not going to be the biggest thing in boxing history. This is not going to be the biggest shock in boxing history. What are you going on about?
When I put this man to sleep.
He dreams a lot. This is not going to come true, young man.
I mean, I wouldn't call it stoic behaviour as such from Mike Tyson. You know, normally when you see a prime fighter and he's that laid back like that, you call it stoic, you know, and you commendate that. It's quite a good trait to have. I wouldn't call that stoic. I don't think he's convinced he can have it out with Jake Paul. I think he knows deep down he's taking this fight. He knows he's going to lose. He shouldn't take this fight. I mean, I like the fighting talk from you, Mike. It's nice. It's a nice fighting talk, but it's not the Mike we're used to seeing, like when he's in them press conferences when he was 20, 30 years old, and he say, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you, you know, I'm going to love you like my whatever, and things like that. He's just very, like, you know what I mean? He's just going through the motions as such.
I believe by the end of my career, I will reign as the GOAT of this sport.
Right, and on that note, Jake Paul, you're going to be the GOAT of boxing. You know, I'm one for like self-belief and confidence and all that, but there's a fine line between self-belief, confidence, and bloody delusion. And this whole press conference, this whole fight is delusional. Everything about it's delusional. It's just a wind-up. Right, I'm going to go into now my final thought, who I think is going to win the fight on Friday. So Jake Paul is probably going to beat 58-year-old, pick up your pension, elderly bus pass Mike Tyson. Should do it. I can't see it going a distance. I mean, it's going to be it could be a bad watch list. It could be almost as bad as when Conor McGregor stepped into that pub and sucker punched that old boy, hitting up that old boy. It's going to be bad like that. It's going to be a bad watch. It could be a bad watch like that. I'm not enjoying it. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. The only reason why I am going to watch it is on that one small chance that Mike Tyson might actually win and knock him out, but I cannot see it. He's 58, Jake Paul's 27. Jake Paul's been a lot more active, be it if he's not fought anyone, but it's still more than what Mike Tyson's fought. So yeah, I think it could be a hard watch, and as long as Mike Tyson don't get hurt out there, you know, fair play. It is what it is. I hope he makes a lot of money out of it, which he will. It's just a payday. It's just an exhibition fight at the end of the day. I mean, Jake Paul, he's doing my nutting. Like he thinks because he's beating the name Mike Tyson, he thinks it's Iron Mike from when he was 20 years old. It's not. You're not beating the name. You're beating the man that is 58 years old. Jake Paul. You know, this ain't the biggest and baddest fight in the planet. This ain't the best boxing match in history. You're both trying to sell this fight out of desperation because you know it probably ain't going to do as well as you think it is. And that's the bottom line. And that is it, really. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to say a massive thank you for helping me get to 100 subscribers. We've done it quite quick. If you like the content, you like my reaction videos, smash up the like buttons. Subscribe to Sports Almanac, and come on, Mike Tyson, knock out Jake Paul.